Welcome in, guys. It is Brad with College SportsCast. John and we are here tonight with a special show. We've got the newest Kentucky football commit on the Wildcat Weekly.
Thank you for tuning in to College SportsCast. College SportsCast presents Wildcat Weekly.
Welcome back, guys. It's Brad with College SportsCast. I've got John Hammonds on here with me. What's up, Hammonds?
What's up, man?
Pretty exciting time for a lot of UK sports, but John, we got something special for everybody tonight. I think you have worked kind of hard to be able to get the newest Kentucky football commit on the show for us. So I just want to give you a shout out for doing the legwork.
Yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to give you a little shout out.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. Great player. He's going to be a big piece for what Will Stein is wanting to do.
All right, before we get started here, I always do a couple of things, talk about our Facebook. If you're on with us on Facebook, man, just want to give you a shout out here. Hit that subscribe. It's only 99 cents a month. It gives you your own page and your own chat that we are in, and we post news and information, events, all kinds of stuff in there. Hit that subscribe button for just 99 cents. We appreciate you.
And also shout out to my sister. She's still doing the fundraiser up in March. I wanted to give a shout out to my little sis, Timberly Frederick. She's doing a thing like clothes, razors, soap, necessities for people that are in need. So shout out there.
Yep. And then before we get going here, I do want to put up in the top left corner of the screen there is a QR code. This is for Home Field Apparel. I do want to get that up real quick for you guys. Home Field Apparel, if you want some really cool UK gear, there's over 180, 190 teams to choose from. So if you're a fan of somebody else, you can click that as well. But there's some really cool retro gear there at Home Field Apparel. Check out the Kentucky gear, man. It's some really cool stuff. They even got some really cool retro football stuff as well. So check them out. Use that QR code at the top of the screen and use CSCast for a discount there. So I'm going to leave the QR code up on the screen as we talk tonight. But we're going to kick off the show here, John. I want to give you a little bit of to just talk about your connection and how you got Brady on. And then
I met Jonathan Johnson a while back, a couple of years ago. His son plays for Pulaski. He was a senior this year, Brody Johnson. I met his mother at the North Law game, sweet family. I met Brady there. This was before he even committed. He was having offers looked at, probably setting up visits. Kid can really play. He's really good. He's going to be a big piece for Will Stein in this offensive line. And I think, getting these Kentucky kids are important. Will Stein made that clear in his press conference when he first got here. And he's said it 100 times over. Kentucky kids are the most important kids in this recruiting class. And what do you know? He gets Brady Hull.
So to start the show off here, guys, we are going to bring in Brady Hull. I want to give you a big shout out, man, and just say welcome to our show. We appreciate you being on with us, Brady.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. It's a blessing.
So Brady Hull committed last Thursday and is the first 2027 commitment for Coach Will Stein, the new Kentucky coach, and is a Kentucky kid like John talked about. plays at Pulaski County, and is a Kentucky kid here in the state. Brady, if I'm not mistaken, you are a top 10 kid in the state of Kentucky for the class of 2027. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Brady is an offensive lineman. So just start off, like, what position do you play in high school? Are you a tackle or are you a guard? What position do you play in high school?
Yeah, at Pulaski, I've always played tackle. We're really rotational. We've got a lot of good depth at the position, but I've played everything at the high school. I mean, I mostly play tackle, but I get reps in at guard, center. Really enjoy center. So that's really what UK wants me as, center or guard. So I'm gonna have to be working at that. But yeah, I play tackle at my high school.
Okay. All right. That was just to kind of break the ice there with you, man. I want to know, what was it like meeting Coach Will Stein for the first time?
Yeah. Coach Stein was first time we met him was at the junior day on January, I think it was 17th. It was their first ever junior day, and I was very impressed. He's a great guy, heck of an offensive mind, great energy. It was just awesome. I just loved the vision he planned out for me. Yeah, he was just a really good guy. Great coach. You can just tell that they're going to be doing something special.
And then I guess my next one is, tell us what it was like meeting the new offensive line coach, Cutter Leftwich, and what's he like?
Oh, Coach Leftwich, he's, if not one of the best offensive line coaches I've ever been around. He's got a great offensive mind, just like Coach Stein. I can see why Coach Stein hired him. He's got great energy, very smart. He knows schemes. I mean, he can tell you it so fast. It's crazy. I mean, he's a great coach. His vision planned out for me, like Coach Stein was awesome. Yeah, there's nothing bad to say about them. They're awesome.
Did he came and visited you? Is that correct, or did you go to them?
Well, he came to visit me as well. I went up there. And then Coach Stein came down to Pulaski last week. I think last week.
And Cutter Leftwich, Coach Cutter Leftwich is a fairly young guy, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I read some article that said he was like one of the youngest offensive line coaches in college football.
Yeah,
and that's
I got a question for you, Brady. I know your sisters played softball in the SEC. You had one that played at South Carolina, and you had one that played at Mississippi State. What's it like having that competitive edge in your family, and now you going to Kentucky and playing for Coach Will Stein?
Yeah, it's very competitive. We always just mess with each other, like who's the best athlete and all that. Yeah, it's just they've always pushed me since I was little. They were really hard on me. Yeah, they've been great, but they've been tough on me. So yeah, it's been great.
You're the younger brother?
Yeah, I'm the baby of the family. Yeah, unfortunately.
Right. I get that. So talk to us a little bit about your visit. You said you came up on junior day. What was it about your visit that made you ready and comfortable to commit?
Oh yeah. I was telling people this. As soon as I walked in the building, like you can just feel like the energy switch of the staff. Like it was just insane. They were great. Yeah, it was just amazing. It was an amazing visit. They had great people. Everyone down from the head coach, from the equipment managers, they were just amazing to me. So it was a great visit.
All right. And then I want to ask you a little bit about, so you played in the state championship game at Kroger Field this year. You guys didn't bring home the trophy. You got close, but you did play at Kroger Field in the championship game. Just talk to us about that experience and how special it was to play at Kroger Field.
Oh yeah, it was definitely special. I think that's everybody's dream is just to play on Kroger Field and just get out there and compete. I mean, that's what we've always wanted to do as little kids, just go out there and play on Kroger Field. So getting to experience that was definitely something I'll never forget, and it'll probably be one of my favorite high school memories ever. It was so special.
So did you have kind of like a surreal feeling, when you're out on that field?
Oh yeah. As soon as we, because second group goes out, and that's the centers and quarterbacks and all that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just running out there with my offensive line. You just look up, and it's just the big lights. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Did that help you kind of know this, it might be where you want to play, just running out on the field?
I think I knew a little bit before that. So
What would you say, Brady, to recruits that are looking into Kentucky? These Kentucky kids, Will Stein said it best, Kentucky kids matter. What would you say to them if they had to make a decision pretty soon on the whole Will Stein effect with what you saw already?
oh yeah, it's like I said, Coach Stein and them are building something special, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it. And I know it's going to be great. And yeah, I'm trying my best to recruit all these players and keep them home. And yeah, it's going to be a great class, I feel like. So yeah.
Special class, 27 class in Kentucky is probably one of the top classes. Me and Brad talked about it last week, that it's one of the top classes in the state of Kentucky in quite a while.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a
It is.
athletic
going to be a
class.
great class. Yeah. So kind of to go with what he's saying, I mean, what is it? What is Stein and his staff's plan for the offensive line? What have they told you? What have they sold you on?
Yeah, like I said earlier, their vision for me was just great. I just love the way they planned things out. Obviously, like I said earlier, they wanted me at center guard. So I'm going to be getting some guard reps too, but mainly center and all that. So yeah, their plan for me is great. That's what sold it for me, is just the development trait of it. Is they're going to develop me on and off the field. So that's what really sold me.
All right.
And you got a great opportunity this year. I know Case and Brock's coming back. There's some players coming back from this championship team. You got an opportunity to do something special again next year.
Oh yeah, we're definitely looking to run it back for sure. We will for sure.
Yeah. So talking about this 2027 class, I mean, just what's your expectations for the class? Will you be kind of a guy out there trying to get other commitments to Kentucky? What's just some of your ideas for this class? What do you expect?
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, this 2027 class, especially in Kentucky, is one of the best classes that, like people said, probably one of the best classes they've ever seen. So I'm definitely going to be out there trying to recruit and, like I said, make them Kentucky boys stay in the bluegrass. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying my hardest to get them to come here to Kentucky. So yeah.
And Stein and company, I mean, they're after a lot of 4 stars, got some 5 stars in the mix. I mean, are you expecting just a stellar class? I mean, what do you think the 27 class will look like?
Yeah, I love that Coach Stein is taking their shots on big players, because a lot of these coaches will think 4-star, 5-star, I don't have a chance on them. So I just love that he's taking a chance, and Coach Leftwich is working his butt off, traveling the country to go see these top guys, and yeah, they're going to do a great job.
I've watched you up close. I'm Jonathan Johnson is one of my good friends, and Brody, and I've watched you up close playing. You're going to be a special piece for this 27 class, and I wish you all the success.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
With that said, my last question, and we'll let you out of here tonight. I want to know about your senior year and what your goals are, what your personal goals are, what your goals are for Pulaski County. Like you said, coming off of a state runner-up.
Yeah, I'd say some of my personal goals is just probably just to keep getting bigger and stronger and keep working on my footwork. And obviously, I got to get ready for the next level. So, yeah, I just got to stay in that weight room and get bigger. Some of my goals for the high school was probably obviously make it back to state. And this year, it's my senior year, so I'm just going to go out there and have fun. I'm not going to regret anything and just go out there and play for my guys.
Well, Brady, we really do appreciate you being on. We promised you we'd try to hold it about 15 minutes. We might be a minute or two over, but we do know that you're a high school kid and you've got class and probably homework and everything else to do.
Yeah.
So, and it's like after it's 9:20, 9:30, I don't know, something like that. So we're going to let you go for tonight, but man, it's been special to have you on. We appreciate you being on our show.
Appreciate
Yes,
you, Brady.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys a lot.
All right. Thank you, Brady.
Yes, sir. See y'all.
All right. All right, guys. That was Brady Hull, the latest 2027 commitment for Coach Will Stein. Actually, his first commitment, John, for the 2027 class.
Those are always the most special ones, Brad. You know, I was looking at an article today, you know, and he had picked up, I think, 15 Division I offers. You know, he comes from an athletic family. You know, like I said, his sister played at South Carolina. His other sister played at Mississippi State. Just you know, keep that pipeline flowing with the kids, with the family. And I think this is a special kid. He's well spoken. He's, you know, he seems like the type of family guy. That's going to be positive for when he goes and plays for Will Stein, I think.
And he's a top 10 kid, but I think he's like 8, 9, or 10 or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of good talent in the state of Kentucky in the 2027 and 2028 class, both actually. So, you know, I think Stein and company is going to have the work cut out for him as far as trying to keep some of that talent at the University of Kentucky, because we all know.
I was looking at the, you know, the class for 27, and Brad, I'm telling you, man, there's some special kids in this class. Brady Hull's one of those kids. I think, you know, the Haskins kid is coming up the ranks. There's a lot recruiting going to be done under Will Stein in this class.
Well, you got Seneca Driver at Boyle County, probably the number one tight end in the country.
Landon Hall was a big win. Landon Hall was a big win. You know, Will Stein said it best. He even told, I think, somebody the other day, he said, if there's a kid in Alaska, he'll play at Kentucky. I mean, he's going to go from the depths of the global, wherever he has to go to make sure some of these kids.
And Brady, you know, I mean, he's a 2027 kid, so Kentucky can't comment about Brady and all that kind of stuff. You know, they can't do all that just yet because he's just a junior in high school, finishing up his junior year this year. So he has one more year of high school left, and then he'll be able to sign next December.
And there's another kid that a lot of people haven't heard about is Maxwell Hiller. Really good player. He's tough. Like I said, the Haskins kid, the Crump kid from, I think he plays at Trinity, if I'm not mistaken. The Crump kid, he got an offer the other day from Missouri. He got an offer, I think, from Wake Forest. He got an offer from Will Stein. He's going to be a special player. I got his mom on Facebook. That kid can play. It would be nice to kind of keep that kid in the state too. So there's a lot of kids in this 27 class that I think Will Stein is really, really fighting to get. to put on the dotted line.
And before we wrap it up, again, I just want to give a big shout out to Brady Hull. We are going to be trying to get a few of these Kentucky kids on the show after they make a commitment to Kentucky and Will Stein this year. We are at least planning on that. We will see how all that goes.
And a lot of it with them not being really connected to UK, you got to go a little logistical. You got to go a little bit through the parents, and that can be tough at times. But thankful that his mom gave him opportunity to come on the show. Angie, she's a really sweet person. So thank you, Brady, for coming on, and I wish you all the success in the world, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to give you a big shout out because I know that after your commitment, Brady, that tons of people have been asking you to come on.
I know it can be a headache. I mean,
and I know there's been tons of people asking them to come on the show and everything.
It can be a whirlwind when you first commit. So,
yeah, absolutely. All right, John, we are going to move on and get to some basketball stuff here. So that's going to be our next topic here. I'm just trying to scroll through and get to what I got. So there we go. All right. So Kentucky basketball, John, on Saturday had another huge comeback against Tennessee and was clutch down the stretch again and overcome a double-digit lead in the first half and come back and get another huge win over Tennessee, 74-71.
I want to say this. Colin Chandler is just clutch when it matters. Have you ever seen the video of Mark Pope at BYU? Colin Chandler, the one where he says Colin Chandler, like where he hollers his name. Like that's how I feel. Like he just makes so many plays. And this time Owe was in the middle of the shot. He wasn't the shot maker, he was a distributor. The Cats was down one. I think there was a minute to go. Owe drove to the lane. Tennessee collapsed on him, and I actually thought he stepped out of bounds, but he whipped the ball over there to Colin Chandler. He hit the shot. Chandler has been clutch all season long. And Owe, he's been on a scoring stretch, Brad, that has just been, Saturday is the 24th time in 24 games he's logged a double-figure point.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Every game. Yeah, this year. Yeah, every game.
And I'm going to say this, and everybody's going to say, well, I don't like that guy or he's not playing. But Mo Diabate saved this game Saturday night.
I mean, that offensive rebound.
As much as many people give him flack, he got the offensive rebound, kind of threw it back out to Denzel Aberdeen. He hit 2 free throws. And, Tennessee threw up a wild shot at the end that hit the top of the rim. I thought,
it was close.
That might have went in. But,
it was close.
The plays that Diabate is making, you don't see – like it's not stuff you're going to see on the highlight film, right? But they're winning plays, Brad. You just can't overstate the value of play.
I actually think there were several of them. I mean, Brandon Garrison made a couple of big plays. I think there's a lot going into what this team is doing, John. I mean, John, 8 of the last 9 games, and like 5 or 6 of them have been comeback wins, being down double digits.
Well, Brad, here's my thing. They've taken some shots. They got humbled against Michigan State. They got beat by 35 to Gonzaga. They lost 25 to Vanderbilt. But since they've got into SEC play, they've hit their stride. They beat Arkansas. They swept Tennessee. They won a tough game against Texas at home. They beat Ole Miss at home. They're 8-3, Brad, and they're playing for an SEC first place on the line Saturday against the Gators at the O-Dome, which will be a tough game, no matter what no matter what, any way you cut it, slice it. But for this team to play for first place in the SEC after the way the year began, couldn't ask for nothing. Couldn't ask for nothing better.
John, because of their play, I want to ask you, Kentucky slips back into the AP poll this week. Mm-hmm. They're 25th. Do you think that was a good thing that they slide back into the poll? Do you think that will make them think they're better than they are? Do you think they need to?
No, I think it helps. I mean, the way they've won, the way they've grinded out. I mean, I know they lost to Vanderbilt, and everybody's going to point at the 25 loss to Vanderbilt. But let's be honest. I don't think Kentucky got off the bus that night. Let's just be frank. And they come into the Arkansas game. There was a lot of pressure. Well, they beat Arkansas. Will Arkansas come out and smoke them 20 points?
Arkansas was favored pretty good that night.
Kentucky came out and became the aggressor. They wouldn't hunt it. They hunted Arkansas. And that's how they have to play. When they start games, they have to be the aggressor. They have to push. They have to prod. They have to make plays, winning plays.
Was you okay with them being ranked this week?
Yeah, I don't have no issue with it. Now, I know some would be like, well, they shouldn't be ranked. They should be, in the, back half, 30th.
Well, I mean, my thing is this, Don. Over this stretch, they have played hungry, at least in the second half. So, I mean, they have come back. They have played hungry. Do you think, getting ranked? Do you think getting ranked will change that?
No, I don't think so. I think this team is built to where they are. Their roles, the way they handle their roles. And
I mean, fair enough. I just think it's a good little topic to talk about with this team.
I will say there's a topic that kind of worries me. I know you've seen it where Christian Collins got a crystal ball to USC today.
Yeah,
I'm not. We can talk about that in a minute, but that's kind of a thing that worries me with Pope a little bit, not heavily.
I mean, it's not like those kids can sign right now.
Here's my thing about the recruiting. I'm not saying you got to go out here and get 30 one and dones, okay? Like, with Calipari. But you need a couple of elite
players. Just think we're in a different time. So, like now with money being involved and revenue share being involved, when you're in between signing periods like this, from the early signing period to the April signing period, when you're in between, I just don't think with the way the money is involved and the revenue shares involved, I don't think right now is the time to go out and say, yeah, we'll meet all your demands and we'll give you exactly what you're asking for. Because as soon as you do that, their agent is going to go to the other school or the other two schools that is in your top three.
Well, and people don't realize that Collins, he goes back with assistant coach Jason Hart. He was one of the big reasons why they're able to get.
I'm not really worried about it right now because the kid can't sign anyway. So,
but Brad, now, here's my kind of bounce back off that. I feel like you're almost at spring, and a lot of teams have got commitments, and Kentucky don't have none.
That's because a lot of them signed. They're not commitments. A lot of them signed in the November signing period, the early signing period. Yeah. That makes it different. If they've signed a revenue share deal and they're locked in, that makes it different.
I just think
commitment right now doesn't really mean that much.
I just think he's going to have to hit on a couple of these elite kids. Maybe not this year, but 27, if he's going to, push that envelope to being the coach. Let's be honest. I mean, you gotta have. Listen, I said it. Like with Calipari, you're going to get 2 or 3 guys. You're going to get the A cuffs. You're going to get the Malik Thomases. Kentucky don't need that.
Arkansas don't have any either right now, by the way.
Portal. Look at the portal, okay? The portal you can win with, but I'm going to go a step further with this. Look what Dusty May's doing at Michigan. It's called retention. Keeping guys like Jasper Johnson, Malachi Marino, Yelovich,
Colin Chandler.
You got to keep some of these guys and kind of build around that. Get maybe one elite player and then kind of work yourself into the portal and get 2 stud point guards or a shooting guard, a guy that can shoot, and just go play some basketball. Go win some games. I just think at the end of the day, Pope's going to have to work on this recruiting, in which we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's whether it's JMI, whether the staff kind of backed off on certain guys. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's a little bit of a word.
I don't believe in the landscape that we're in right now. I don't believe it's in their best interest to go out and say, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll give you what you're asking for." It's not the right time to do that.
I agree with you. And speaking of Oweh, I just want to say the way he has put it together, Brad, it's absolutely it's impressive.
11 of the last 15 games have been 20 plus. 20 points plus.
I'm going to tell you, a lot of people look at his offense, but what he did the other night when when he forced him to make that tough shot, that's tough to do against a 6'10" guy.
It is. But to be fair, Amen ate him up in the first half, to be fair.
He did.
Now, they did put him on Gillespie in the second half, and he helped
switch things up. They see the thing that lost Tennessee this game, and Rick Barnes might need me as an assistant, but they done too much ISO ball with Nate Ament. They just gave the ball to Nate Ament, and they said, "You know what? Just go do it."
Well, man, I think they got reeled in by his first half performance,
and he was forcing things.
Yeah, but he played so well in the first half. I think they thought, well, we'll just let him take over the game. And in the second half, he struggled. They switched defenders. Kentucky did.
They put a couple guys in his face. I know there was one where they had a shot clock violation that he threw up. Then he had the play where he kind of was backed into a wall, and he kind of forced a shot up that Kentucky got the rebound and put Malachi Marino at the line, which Malachi Marino missed one of those, which
John, I want to ask you about, everybody's talking about the play that Oweh drove and drew the defense in and threw it out to Chandler, and Chandler hit the three, and that's great because it was an awesome play. But there was a play before that where Oweh drove in and basically threw up on the other side of the goal, threw up a kind of a circus shot, and somehow or another it rattled in.
I'm going to tell you another.
It was a fantastic play.
I'll tell you another instance where I thought the game kind of was on the teetering was when Oweh missed a layup and Tennessee guy had the rebound. I think it was Jalen Carey, and it bounced back to Garrison, and he put it in and cut it to one. If Tennessee gets that rebound up 3 with probably a minute or something to go.
I have a question about that play, though. Why doesn't Garrison dunk that ball?
Yeah, that don't make no sense to me. He's 6'10", dunk it.
And he's literally 1 inch from he's right there at the rim. Dunk the ball.
I feel like they got in a hurry. There was a couple plays where they throw the ball away, they threw it away again. Chandler threw it away. I think Oweh threw it down to Garrison, and Tennessee picked it up. Like, there was plays in that game where if Tennessee just scores on some of those trips, on some of those possessions, Kentucky probably doesn't win that game.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I just want to give a huge shout out to Oweh, man. Like the first 5, 6, 7 games of this year, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with Oweh, to be honest. He just didn't seem to be playing with a lot of passion and a lot of heart, which is what he was known for last year. I mean, that's what he gave us almost every night out. He had a turf toe issue. He was coming back from an injury. I don't know if that had anything to do with his early play in this season, but man, the last 15 games, OA has really turned on and playing like he can play. He's playing downhill. He's getting to the basket. At the same time, he's shooting the three better when he does shoot them. And his defense is spectacular. He is stealing the ball, rebounding when he needs to. He's just playing lights out for us. And I'm just super happy. This is his second SEC Player of the Week award this year. He got one in December, I think. So it's been a while. It was co-SEC Player of the Week with Phylon, I think, from Alabama. So I just want to.
I'm gonna bring up something real quick. We're going to go on to the Florida game.
That was my next topic anyway, John. So Kentucky is tied for second in the SEC.
No, they're all alone in second place.
Oh, are we alone?
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking we were tied. We're in second in the SEC, and we happen to be playing the number one team in the SEC this weekend. Kentucky's off tonight, tomorrow night. They don't play tonight. This in the midweek this week. They play Saturday night at Florida here, and we're going to dig into the Florida game here and talk a little bit more about it.
They're surging, Brad. Todd Golden's team, they're fourth nationally. I think in Torvak's ratings, they're seventh in Kim Palm. They're good. They're 8-2. Kentucky's 8-3. Even if Florida wins Wednesday night against Georgia, which they play a tough game on the road against Georgia, Kentucky, a win Saturday probably puts them in first anyways. So I would rather see Florida win Wednesday than coming off a loss. Sometimes you'd rather see a team coming off a win than a loss because you kind of don't want that added pressure of, not being able to beat a team when they've struggled the game before. Listen, Florida is good, man. Thomas Howell, Boogie Flan, Xavier Lee, this team can play. I'm going to say this. Kentucky, you better rebound Saturday is all I can tell you. The Gators, they got three guys, I think, that are 6'9". Now, I'll say this. I think they can control some things in the backcourt. I think they got the guard.
Ask you this, John. Who
said that?
Who guards Howell? Isn't he 6'10"? I mean, and the way he plays, who guards him?
Do you put Oway on him to kind of
But he didn't do too great with 6'10", Matt, to be honest with you. I mean, I
don't think you put Garrison on him. I don't. I'm going to say this, and people's not going to like this, but this is a game that Jaden Quaintance could be a big plus in because you throw a guy in there, maybe 10, 15 minutes, kind of push people around, kind of make them uncomfortable.
I don't think that's happening, John. I just don't.
No, I'm just saying this would be the game if it was. Florida is so good under the goal. They can, they can rebound. They can score.
I mean, Chenyalu, their size is unbelievable, to be honest.
Kentucky's got the fourth hardest remaining schedule, Brad, in college basketball. They got 7 games left. The final few weeks of this year is going to be tough. But I'm going to say this. I still feel Kentucky will finish second behind Florida. If that's the case, Kentucky's probably a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
In the NCAA tournament. And they probably get a double bye in the SEC. They get the 2 seed. They got Georgia coming up at home. They play.
You're jumping my next 2 topics, but I mean, I want to ask you about this. I want to ask you about Aberdeen, because Aberdeen's going back to Florida to play. He was a champion last year on that team. He's going back to Florida. He's from Orlando. He is a Florida kid. He played 3 years there. What do you expect to see? Do you think going back to Florida is going to change his game any at all for us?
I think it's going to be an emotional game. If that's what you're asking, I think it's going to be very emotional. I think he's going to try to force things. I think he's going to try to force some shots. I think he's going to try to want to do too much. But if he just lets the game come to him, like he has been playing, I think there's a good chance they can hit some shots and win this game. I want to tell you something. I'm the biggest Debbie Downer of all. Ask Bill Sizemore. I can be as bad as they get.
That's only on game day. It's only when the game's going on.
That's on game day, yes. But I think being positive here, I think this team can go into Florida and win this game. But they got to start aggressive.
I'll be honest with you, John, I think it's going to be a tall task, and tall meaning being the main word here. I'll tell you what worries me more than anything is I think we're going to get killed on the glass. Like, I just don't think we're going to be able to compete with them on the glass.
Now, I think Malachi Marino, the way he has played lately, Jimmy Dykes said it best. Saturday night he was covering the game. He said, this kid's growing up before our eyes. He's making plays. He's rebounding. He's throwing up that hook shot.
But is he ready against championship 7-footers? I'm just not sure.
I get you.
I'm just not sure. I'm not saying he's going to play terrible, but there's only one of that dude, and there's 3 of these guys that's down low.
Yeah, but I think in the heat of the game, if Kentucky's hitting shots, and let's be honest, Kentucky plays pretty good at the Old Dome. They've won a couple times there. They've hit shots. There's been some close games down there, and there's also been some games where Florida's put the mollywop on them too. But at the same time, the way this team is fighting, they're grinding, they're playing with a lot of heart. I got a feeling, Brad, that they're going to go in here and they're going to play hard, and they might not win, but they're going to bust their tail to give them an opportunity to win the end.
Well, it's definitely a tough place to play, and first place is on the line. I do hope that we go there and shock the world, to be honest with you. Yep. We'll see. All right. With that said, John, my next topic was the SEC. I mean, we're right there. Kentucky is right there in the SEC running here for the regular season. And then, of course, we'll have the tournament in Nashville. And as far as the tournament in Nashville, before we really talk about the tournament in Nashville, I want to ask you about something. Nashville's not been too kind to Kentucky this year.
No.
If you remember, there was a big talk. We went to Nashville to play Gonzaga, and then we went to Nashville to play Vanderbilt, and we've been smoked both times. So is Kentucky fans going to be a little timid about going to Nashville?
No, not the SEC tournament. The fans lock in when the SEC tournament comes. Are they going to be like, whoa, wait a second, flashbacks to the Bridgestone Arena? See, what people don't realize is that's a vacation for a lot of UK fans. Like they for the spring, like they get a chance to go somewhere and do something. It's a money thing. Like they take up all these bars, these food joints, these hotels. It's a big deal. At least until they're knocked out. So if it's the first day, it never goes too well. I always joked about it. When Kentucky didn't make the tournament under the championship under Pitino or some of these coaches, I said usually the Sunday games everybody gives their tickets away, and they ain't hardly nobody there because Kentucky fans are gone, like they're already went home, like they've already settled into their house, and they're not going back to the hotels. You know what I mean? So
All right, so regular season, do you give Kentucky a real shot at the regular season crown here?
If they beat Florida, yes. If they don't beat Florida, it's going to be tough. I mean, you got Georgia at home. You go to Auburn. You play South Carolina on the road. You play, I think, who is it? Vanderbilt at home.
Yeah.
And then I think you got Florida at home. That's it, right?
No, you got Bama's in there at home too.
Alabama?
Don't we?
I don't think they play Bama twice.
Maybe that was last year we played Bama. Yeah, maybe not. We do play Vandy twice, I know.
Let me see. I had the schedule up here. It's Florida, Georgia, at Auburn, at South Carolina. Oh, I'm there. It's Texas A&M.
Yeah, on the road.
On the road, and then they play Florida at home. The final day of the year, March 7th. So,
yeah. I mean, yes, if we can somehow beat Florida, I think we do have a real shot here. But I want to ask you.
I think if you beat Florida, you set yourself up for a top 4 bye. Because if you can get the home games, the Georgia, the Vanderbilt, the Floridas, which are going to be tough, I think you can drop a couple road games and still be able to – but you got to see what other teams do. Now, Vandy, they beat Auburn on the road tonight. I think it was like 6 or 7 points.
In the SEC tournament, John, I want to ask you a question. It has been since 2018 since Kentucky played in the SEC tournament championship game.
It's hard to believe, man.
It's been since 2018. It's actually been since 2017 since Kentucky won the SEC tournament. It has been a long, long stretch here. Do you give this team, the way they've been playing, 8 out of 9 wins, the way they've been coming back, beating some good teams, do you give this team a chance to get to the SEC tournament championship game?
The right draw, I think. And, you got the fan backing. You got the toughness that they're playing with. I think, you get the fans behind you, go on runs, the crowd getting into it. Like, I think there's some opportunity there, but you can't get behind in games. That's the one thing that I've said with this team. I mean, you talked about it last week. When they get behind.
Yeah, but it seems like that's when they wake up. They either wake up or they lay down like they did against Vandy. But
that's what I mean.
9 times out of 10, they wake up when they get down.
We joke about the untouchables. Probably these are the unpredictables. Because you don't know what you're going to get with them from game to game. Like say we're sitting here and we see Florida Saturday and we come out and we get smacked around by 20 points, but you come out and you get hot from 3 and you go up 20 or 15 like we did at Arkansas, and you think, oh my goodness, like they're doing it again. Like you just don't know what you're going to get with this team from week to week. So
actually, from one half to the next,
it's mind blowing sometimes.
All right, so I'm going to finish it up talking about with Kentucky basketball tonight on the men's side here, and just talk about some bracketology. I think me and you talked about this earlier on the phone. If somehow this Kentucky team could find a way to completely run the table, SEC tournament championship.
Let's be fair, Brian.
I think the absolute ceiling, I just want to put this out here. I think the absolute ceiling, and you would have to be perfect on out, would be a 3 seed. I think that would be the absolute ceiling. Yeah,
but somebody knocks you in the head on that one, because that's not happening.
I'm not saying that they're going to, guys. That's the absolute ceiling. I think where they land is somewhere between a 5 and a 7. What do you think?
I think they're either going to be a 5 through 7. I think there's a chance. To be honest, I would rather have the 6 seed, because you play the 3 seed, and then you would probably play the 2 seed. The 4 seed normally plays the 1 seed. The 5
or
seed.
The 5.
Or the 5.
The 4-5 seed plays
honestly, wouldn't care to have the 7 seed, to be honest. The 2 seed, sometimes you can get. It just depends on who those 2 seeds are. You're probably looking at a Nebraska, an Iowa State.
The 6th seed is probably the best one to get to the Sweet 16.
You're probably looking like if you're going to beat a 2 seed this year, you're probably looking at teams like Iowa State, Nebraska, maybe a Purdue.
It's going to be tough now.
I'm telling you, Kansas.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to kind of get out of that. So
I think a 6 seed and matching up with a possible 3 in the Sweet 16.
Well, if you get a 3, you're probably looking at maybe a rematch with Michigan State.
Yeah.
Let me think who's in that top tier there. Another Gonzaga, Gonzaga maybe again.
Gonzaga matchup, yeah.
So you're probably going to be looking at maybe a better matchup. But either way you look at it, Brad, when you get in the tournament, you get something goes right your way. I always tell people when you play in the NCAA tournament, a lot of it is a lot of luck. You got to have a lot of things go your way. Everybody talks about, the 8, we've seen 1 seeds go down in the last, few years to 16 seeds. You just don't know how the matchups are going to set up because you get a team that's a 2 seed, they could lose in the first game, and then you're playing a 15 seed, and then you've got a kind of opportunity to go to the Sweet 16 because you kind of seen the upsets gather up, and you're worrying about the other team that you're playing, but now the 2 seed's gone, and now you got an opportunity to play for a big opportunity to go to the Elite 8. Like, you just don't know from game to game when you're playing the NCAA tournament. I say it's a lot of luck, and in the refereeing, I say this. Everybody talks about how bad the officiating is in the regular season. It's a completely different outline when it's in the tournament. You don't have the same officials. They move all over the place.
Yeah.
And you got a better whistle a lot of times.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time. So,
all right, guys. So I am going to switch it up. We are going to talk about the women here a little bit and the women's team. They've been through a rough patch here, to be quite honest with you. That's my next topic, just how bad it's been. But last night, they played the number 4 team in the country on the road in Austin. And, John, they come up short. They got beat by 11, but with 5-6 minutes to go in this game, it was a 1-point game. Kentucky cut it to 1 from being down 14 earlier in the game and come back, cut it to 1 with about 5.5 minutes to go last night. And then some of the same things that popped up throughout the early part of that game with some turnovers, just some missed shots, not rebounding, missing a few free throws that they should have had, pops up, and Texas holds on and gets the win, at home last night.
Yeah, I think it was in the second quarter. Asia Boone, I felt like played really well. She hit some shots.
She did. She started 4-4 from 3-point line. So
she tied the game at 28. That was the last. I think that was the last time Kentucky scored in the first half, and Texas went ahead and went up 10. Boone had 12 at the break. Strike had, I think, 6. Third quarter, Boone played, I thought, well. She hit a couple free throws there. She had a steal, cut the lead to 8. Tiani Keep, she had a bucket in the fourth quarter. She was fouled. She missed a free throw, and then Texas went up 48-43.
Drac was like 3 of 6 or something in the fourth quarter.
Kentucky went on a score. The biggest problem that I have with this game is they went on a scoring drought after they kind of tied it or cut the lead in there, and they found themselves down double digits. Like it just felt like every little moment that they fell apart. You cannot do that on the road against Texas.
A lot of people was talking about their shooting at the end of the second quarter. It really wasn't their shooting. They only got 3 shots the last 7 minutes. They had 7 turnovers.
I mean, you know, Brad, they're right there. They just
LSU a week before lost by like 13, 14 in Austin. This Texas team made the Final Four last year, has a lot of pieces back, can likely make the Final Four, maybe win a national title.
I want to say this, and Kenny's not going to like me, but that's okay. I love you. I love you anyways, Kenny Brooks. You've got to figure out the bench. Kaylin Carroll, okay? If I'm not mistaken, she played 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Did Lexi Blue even play?
Nope.
Because I didn't watch all of it, but I know when I see the minutes progression that Gilvin ain't even seen the floor.
Nope.
I'm going to say this, Brad. I'm going to try to keep my cool because I know you cover them, but it's becoming an issue. The girls cannot play 33, 34 minutes.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. I had a topic here in a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up while you're talking.
33, 34 minutes a night. Clara Strack up to what? 30-something minutes. Tony Morgan playing 30 minutes. Asia Boone's getting a lot more playing. She's playing a lot more than
like 35 minutes, 36 minutes.
Listen, I understand that these girls are beneficial, but what's it going to hurt to just, throw Josie Gilvin in there for what? 10, 15 minutes. Kaylin Carroll for 10 minutes.
Last night, Texas had a nine woman rotation last night. And Kenny's really playing 6 because Kaylin Carroll only got 4 minutes. So
the problem with playing 6, Brad, I get that. But what you do is when you get to the fourth quarter, their legs are tired. Their shots tired.
John, there's probably not a more physical team than Texas in the country. Like you might get some that match what Texas is doing, but I'm telling you, their defense.
Oldacre hit some big shots. She hit some big free throws.
It's physical. What I'm trying to say to you, John, is the game that they play is physical and it's relentless. Rory Harmon on defense is relentless, absolutely relentless. And to ask these girls to play 36, 37, 38 minutes, you can't do that in the SEC and win consistently.
And we talked about this today. You got 3 girls coming in that are McDonald's All-Americans.
Yep.
You got Emily McDonald, Swartz, and then you got Maddie Greenway. So Are you going to not play them?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's a really good question.
I don't mean that disrespectfully to Kenny Brooks. I love Kenny. I think he's one of the better coaches in the country. But you got to have some sort of bench. Look at Kentucky men's. Garrison comes off the bench and kind of throws in 20 and 10 the other night. You got to have.
That was the issue last year, to be honest with you. And now we're sitting here in year 2, and he's down the stretch, he's trying to play 6 players again. It's the same thing that happened last year, and down the stretch.
And what you do in that, you get them tired, and you got the SEC tournament coming up. And what if you're doing that same thing, and then you got March Madness coming right up? Like, they're going to be so exhausted, they're not going to be able to handle the ebbs and flow of the March Madness. Yeah, usually in March.
I mean, Kenny is on his roughest stretch right now. They are 1-5 in their last 6 SEC games.
It's just been team that beat Alabama the other night.
It's just been absolutely tough stretch. They haven't been through a stretch like this. Last year they did go 11-5 in the SEC, finished 4th. They're not going to finish anywhere near that this year in the SEC. They're 5-6 right now. And to be honest with you, they're hoping to hang on to a single bye and be in the top 8, to be honest with you, in the SEC.
I said it the other night. I said you're probably going to have to win 4 games in 4 days.
But if you're not in the top 8, you got to win 5. You got to play on Wednesday.
Yeah, if you're on Wednesday, yes. I'm talking about 4 if you're on the Thursday day. You got to win 4 in 4 days. But 5.
They got some work to do, John, setting at 5-6 to finish in the top 8.
They play Texas A&M. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they beat Alabama the other night?
They did.
It's not a cakewalk coming to, historic Memorial. Like, you have got to figure, like, you got to start a game and just dominate a team. Like, don't get it to where
in the SEC, all right, we're talking about like a bench here, all right. In the SEC is probably the top, or at least one of the top leagues in women's basketball. It is high caliber physical basketball in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they play. And I just don't believe that you're going to be able to play a 6-person rotation. You look at what LSU does. She's running in 7, 8, 9, 10 players, 8, 9, 10 players. You look at what Texas is doing. They're playing 9, 10 players a night. You look at what Dawn Staley does at South Carolina. They're running in 8, 9, 10 players every night. The best teams in this league, they play 8, 9, 10 players every time. Go look it up.
They do.
And Kenny, as much as I love you, man, I really do, and I love these girls, you're not going to be able to climb the SEC mountain on a 6-man rotation. And John's exactly right. You've got 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming in for next year. All right. You got Kaylin Carroll, who is a McDonald's All-American, and she's barely getting 4 or 5 minutes a game. Well, I'm telling you, next year, you're going to have to play a bench from the beginning of the year, and you're going to have to let these girls make a few mistakes and learn.
What I don't understand is, what are you supposed to do in 4 minutes of action?
Well, I mean, especially, it's not like it's 4 solid minutes. It's 20 seconds here, a minute and 12 seconds there, 39 seconds here. I mean, you're not
going to be able to do much in about 20 seconds.
I mean, you can't do anything in 39 seconds or 20 seconds segments. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have to learn to play a bench. I'm just telling you, in the SEC, go look at the top 3 teams and see how many players they play. It's a hell of a lot more than 6. I can promise you. All right. Texas A&M comes to town and Ole Miss comes to town at home this week. John, if the girls are going to figure anything out here and make any more waves, they had climbed up to 6. They're now 18. They lost last night, so they're already coming off of a loss here. A&M at home, honestly, John, at home, they should take care of this A&M team, and they should take care of them halfway decent and then move on to Ole Miss on Sunday, which will be a tough matchup. Coach Yo does an absolute fantastic job. Joni does a great job at A&M too, but Coach Yo's got a team. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you could get 2 solid home wins here this week, it would help right the ship a little bit.
It would. I agree. I think you got to win this game. I think you got to win the Ole Miss game. You win those 2, you kind of get a little confidence, and then you got to kind of play South Carolina at home, which granted you get them at home, but it's not going to be easy. Joyce Edwards, the big freshman that they got, she plays some minutes.
Got to go to Vandy on the road, which won't be.
And then you got to play Mikayla Blakes on the road. You got to figure it out. And it starts with.
That's why these 2 home games this week. It is a big week for these girls, I believe.
It is. I agree with you. It is.
Yeah, this week at home with A&M and Ole Miss at home. If you want to right this ship and you want to get a decent seed in the tournament, it is an absolute necessity that you right the ship this week.
For me right now, the losing continues. You're looking at a 6 or a 7 seed, Brad.
At best.
And
because
then,
you got to go to Vandy, you got South Carolina coming in.
You go from being a 3 or a 4 early in the year to set. It kind of takes the
maybe even an 8 seed.
To me, it takes the flavor out of the LSU win. Really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where I'm going to go next. Is the women's bracketology, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to talk about the SEC yet. I want to get through this week and see what they do with those 2 games. But bracketology-wise right now, John, this team could be anywhere from a 4 or 5 tops right now if they happen to win a few of these big games, all the way down to an 8 or 9, I believe.
You don't want in the 8-9 game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they could.
I'm not, with the 1 seeds this season, no, that's a negative.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't want UConn right out of the gate. You don't want maybe even Texas, which they probably won't play Texas in that
UCLA. We might match up with UCLA at best or something. You don't want to match up with
Michigan or Michigan.
Yeah.
You just don't want to play those games like right out of the gate. I mean, you want to be out of. I even said that with the men. You don't want the 8-9 game. That's
John.
You're going up against it.
They're getting close to being talked about. I mean, if we were to lose 1 or 2 of these games this week, I mean, I don't know. By the time if we lose to Vandy and to South Carolina, I mean,
it's great opportunity here, Brad, to kind of right the ship. So.
It's an important week for the girls this week.
I agree with you.
All right, I've got 2 more quick topics here that I want to talk about, and then we're going to wrap up our show tonight. But UK softball started last weekend, John. They went 4-1 in San Diego. They played today in Santa Barbara. They played UC Santa Barbara. They won 10-2. I didn't put that up. I found that out right before the show come on. They played and won 10-2 today. So they are now 5-1 out on their West Coast swing. They started out with an 11-game road trip out on the West Coast in California. So they're now 6 games in. They have 5 more games this weekend versus Cal Poly and Stanford and Oregon. They have 2 doubleheaders, one on Thursday, one on Saturday, and then a single game on Friday. So they play 5. They play 5 more games this weekend on this trip. They have started 5-1 now, and I just want to give a shout out to the girls on the softball team, John, for their start here. Like I said, and then the SEC named one of them the SEC Freshman of the Week today, or maybe yesterday. Haley Nutter is a freshman, and John, she started her career with something pretty special.
Yep. No hitter. She struck out 14 batters. They beat Loyola Chicago. I think it was the season kickoff, San Diego State.
First career start. And then in the second start, she backed it up with a complete game shutout.
I mean,
that's not bad, right?
Not bad for your first, career.
For your first 2 starts? I mean, come on, that's not bad, right?
You got to be pretty decent,
She's from Texas. Haley Nutter is from Texas, from the state of Texas. They put out some pretty good softball players most of the time. The state of Texas does. And I just wanted to give her a huge shout out here, man. I mean, honestly, to start your career with a no-hitter and then a complete game shutout versus Minnesota, a power conference team, on the complete game shutout. I mean, that's pretty damn special. She had 22 strikeouts, John, in those outings and 0 walks.
He says since the Tubby era, it feels like we get the 8-9 game a lot. Maybe it should. We've had some 8-9 games. We had the what was it? The Wichita State year.
Yeah.
We had a couple with we lost to Kansas in the Tubby final season. The thing about the 8-9 game, you got to stay away from that game if you're the girls.
The girls or guy. I mean, it doesn't matter really. That you always want to stay away from that game.
8-9 game, because you're not going to be favored in the 1 seed. The 1 seed, and if it's a majorly big time 1 seed, you're going to be double digit underdogs. Let's just be honest. Against the UConn, you're probably going to be a 15-point underdog, probably even 10. Yeah, UCLA, Lauren Betts. You're probably going to be up against it. So the girls got to figure it out. And like you said with the softball, I think baseball's coming up. The men's baseball begins this weekend.
They do. They begin this weekend. They have a 3-game series in UNC Greensboro on the road this weekend. And today, one of the preseason announcements was for one of the teams. I'm not sure which one it was, but Tyler Bell was named first team All-American preseason.
Yeah, Tyler Bell's good.
That's not bad to be preseason first team.
Ben Cleaver's going to find a MLB team too. Ben Cleaver's good. So I'm gonna give a shout out to one that's in Louisville right now. I know his granny watches the show. Cade Elam plays for Louisville. He's a Knox Countyan. His dad played football. Bart Elam. Cade, if you ain't, I know the whole Louisville Kentucky thing rivalry, but if you ain't watched the kid play baseball, watch Cade Elam. The kid can absolutely play baseball. He's going to be to me. He's going to be in the NBA. He's going to be in the MLB. Somebody is going to pick that kid up. That kid is great with the glove. He's great with the bat. There's a lot of great baseball players in this area that a lot of people don't even look at.
Yeah.
And Tyler Bell's good. You got Ben Cleaver.
Ryan Swartz.
Ryan Swartz is really good.
Be a good one on this team.
I'm a huge baseball guy.
That pitching staff, John's going to be pretty good, I believe.
I'm a big baseball guy anyways. I love the Reds. Now, I don't watch college baseball like most people, but I kind of keep up with it through the stats and whatnot. Yeah. But I'm a big Reds fan. I'm a big Eugenio Suarez fan. I'm a big Ellie Dela Cruz guy.
Tyler Bell's a projected first rounder for the MLB draft this year. So
you're a Dodgers fan. So
this Kentucky team, John, is preseason ranked in a couple of polls. So they begin their season on Friday, the 13th. So just want to give them a shout out.
The SEC as a whole is going to be good. You got Arkansas that's always really good in the SEC. LSU. Now they did lose Tony Vitello. He's at the San Francisco Giants now, which props to him, man. What a career that dude's made for himself.
Yeah. Sure is. I think it's been fun to kind of keep up with the baseball the last couple of years.
Yeah, of course it is. When your Dodgers are winning everything.
No, I'm talking about Kentucky.
Oh, I'm just saying in the MLB, your Dodgers are doing everything, man. They're what's wrong with baseball. They're what's wrong with baseball right now.
No, everybody else is just jealous. That's all.
Yeah, jealousy. That's it.
Everybody's just jealous.
They're the problem. Get to the root of the problem and you'll have the problem.
Hey, the Yankees and the Red Sox started this shit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I want to say.
We'll end on that one. So
They started this shit.
Oh,
The Dodgers are just finishing it.
yeah, which is probably going to end in a lockout in 27. So
Yeah, they're just finishing it. All right, you just remember that.
yeah, I hear you.
All right, man.
By the way,
We're
I just
We're
wanted to
going to wrap
say,
this up. I want to give a huge shout out to Brady Hull, the new Kentucky commitment that come on at the beginning of this show. And he was on with us about the first 15 to 18 minutes. So check out the beginning of this show if you did not see it for our Brady Hull interview.
that's what I wanted to say. You know, I'm not real familiar with his older sister, but I do know that the other sister, Riley Hull, played for Mississippi State, and the other sister played for South Carolina. So that's an athletic family, Brad. They're, now he's going to play at the University of Kentucky. He's going to have an opportunity of a lifetime that most kids don't even have the opportunity to do.
Right.
And look at him, he went to the state championship. There's a lot of kids in Kentucky football, high school, that don't get to play on that field. You get, a certain amount of games you play, and if you don't make the state championship, you're not going.
Yeah.
And these kids get an opportunity, a lifetime, to kind of show off their talents on the big stage, for 2 nights. And that's the same way of high school basketball. The kids get to play on Rupp Arena. Like, as a kid, that's a dream, man.
Oh, yeah, it's special.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Brandon Phillips.
Huh.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap this show up. This has been Wildcat Weekly with College SportsCast. We normally do these on Monday nights, but last night the women played, so we were covering and watching the game last night. So we did this on Tuesday. Again, thanks to Brady Hull and his parents for being on the show here with us here at Wildcat Weekly. We will see you guys on Friday night for our game day pick'ems and a little bit of our Big Fuss show. And we hope you guys have a good night and enjoy some, I'm not sure, there's no college basketball or Kentucky basketball. Just enjoy some college basketball this week.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night. We will see you on Friday.
Yeah, have a good one.